Hi, my name is Brett Thomas, or my water tribe name is Water Scout. And my son and I just got back from the 2023 Everglades Challenge hosted by the Water Tribe. That was a up to 8-day, up to 300-mile expedition race. And what I want to do before I take apart all of my food bags, I want to explain how I packed my food. There's so many different ways you can do this. I don't know there's any one particular right way. There's so many foods you can bring, but I at least want to show you what I used, what my son used, so that we could be successful. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to ring the bell, do whatever the whole social media thing is. I don't care about followers. I'll never be YouTube famous. My hope is that we can learn from each other. So I'll explain what I used, throw in the comments what you used, maybe we can learn from each other. So I used the Seal meal. So this is the poor man's version of an MRE. I used to use MREs in the military, and they're completely waterproof. There's enough weight that they won't sink, but just barely. But they're completely waterproof. So I've already cut one open, and I'm gonna explain what's in there. So cut it open near the top. This bag has multiple uses. You can keep reusing it. Works for trash. You can roll stuff up in it. If you have some tape, you can kind of seal it up again. So the bag still has value. Don't just discard it. My son and I, we took 6 days worth of food, knowing it was going to take us less. We took 22 pounds of food. We're bringing home 11 pounds of food. So we only ate 10 pounds. We didn't use all of our food. So don't throw away the bag. When you do make these, make sure that they are small enough to fit into your vessel type. We had a Hobie Tandem Island. It is a sailboat kayak. It has 8-inch round hatches, and all of our food went down into the hatch. So if you're in a sea kayak or whatever, make sure that these fit. And whenever you're going on day one, typically you've already had breakfast. So on that day, that day's food, I'd probably mark it day one. The other days, we didn't mark it. We grabbed it out. We looked at what was there. Make sure that your big meals, we brought 2 hot meals, one for breakfast, one for dinner, and face them out so you can see what you're getting, because otherwise, whatever you pulled out, you're eating it, because you're probably not going to want to open up another bag and potentially expose it to water. So on both sides, we can kind of see through what our food is, and that's how we'll pick what we're going to eat. What do you feel like? Every day you might feel like something different. So we've got our 2 meals here. We never ate more than one of them. So cumulatively, as the days went on and we opened up a new bag, the main meals just started piling up. Now, they're of course sealed, so if you want to throw them separately back into this bag as just an extra storage bag, you can do that. Everything is sealed anyways. Mostly what we ate was energy bars, breakfast bars, protein bars, whatever you want to refer to them. Not an advertisement for any company in particular. We used a lot of Cliff products, Richard Irvine's Fit Crunch, Nature's Valley protein bars, Kind bars. Take what you like. Test drive it ahead of time. Make sure you like it. One of the world-class paddlers that was on the adventure with us said he violated his own rule, and I've done this as well. I didn't test drive food before I got out there on the water or the trail or whatever, and I hated it. Now I just lost a meal because I wasn't going to eat it. If no one else wants to eat it, I gotta carry it out with me still. So make sure you test your food and bring what you like. It doesn't matter what you bring, just bring enough of the things that you like. I like to bring energy bars or goo or these type of gels. I do keep some of them. They're in my daily bag, but I also have extras that I would keep in a day bag. I've got goo, I've got Cliff Shot energy gel, I've got Hammer gel. Pick the one you like. So I've got extras there. Well, these they create trash, and that starts piling up. So I like to go and order the big bags. These are 15 servings, but what's interesting is if you get 2 of the 5-serving Hydro Pack, they're called Goo Tubes, these 2 5 servings will actually hold 15. So that way I can throw one of them in the hull or in somewhere else in my life jacket, keep one in a pocket, and I can just open it up, squeeze it, and I'm good for the equivalent of 7 of these. I didn't create any trash because this was left at home. I love Cheez-Its, so I brought Cheez-Its. This was a test drive for me. I probably should have done this on a previous test adventure. Cheez-Its are big, they're square. Not when they've been rolling around in the hull of a kayak for a while, inside an air removed bag. They get crushed. So this is the Cheez-It Crumble, and I still liked it, but it's not the easy little squares. The other problem that I ran into, this is my coffee, creamer, all in a neat little bag. This was a test drive that I did. I should have actually made this its own tiny little seal of meal bag, because I got cross-contamination from this sealed bag into this sealed bag. So now my Cheez-Its taste like coffee. Not too bad, but I didn't test drive this new version of coffee, violated my own rule. It was horrible. I couldn't do it. So I had no coffee on this particular trip. Good thing we finished in about 4 days. So cross-contamination, it's something that you have to worry about when you do stuff like this. We'll talk about cross-contamination when we get to water as well. Every day you're out there, unless you're using paper charts, map and compass, you're eating up electronics, you're eating up batteries. So I will always throw in some extra batteries in every day's bag. So if you're using a handheld GPS, you know how long those batteries will last. Put enough batteries in there. So even if it's 2 batteries or 4 batteries on day 1, or 4 batteries every other day, and then 2 batteries in between. Figure out how many batteries you need. I also kept another dry bag, another supply of batteries. But you can make these daily bags have everything you need. If you're using a headlamp, make sure you maybe throw in some extra batteries for that headlamp type if it's something different, a 2032, AA, AAA, whatever. But make sure that you do remember, you do have to change these, keep them waterproof. So this is perfect. And if you have to ditch somewhere, ditch your whole boat, and you just grabbed one of these bags and your GPS is attached to you, or your radio or whatever, you can continue to power it for some extra days longer, away from the rest of your resupply. So cross-contamination. This is Death Wish coffee, not a plug for them, but excellent coffee. It's sealed, so Nescafe, whatever, get some of these. They're already sealed. You don't have to do it. I can't drink my coffee straight, so I got some K-cups, got some milk chocolate in it. They're sealed. That's great. And I throw some of them in my bag, and now I've got my coffee and my creamer, and they're both sealed. No cross-contamination. The other things that you can bring: cup of soups. Obviously they don't fit in the bag, so you got to figure out a different way to secure them. But the cup of soups, whatever you want, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, ramen noodles, they're all excellent. And I like to decorate my food with different stuff. So as you go out to restaurants, get some of the condiments. If you know that you're going to take something that you want some extra flavor, you want to throw some soy sauce in your ramen noodle and beef jerky that you cut up, or you've got a border scramble from Mountain House, I want to throw some Frank's Red Hot sauce in there. So don't discount grabbing all these extra little condiments. Throw them in the bag, throw them in that day's bag, throw them in your day bag, wherever you want, but take them with you. I do have a mayo here. Make sure that this kind of stays shaded and protected and isn't getting heated up. Otherwise, that'll definitely cut your trip short. I love pickle juice. I like taking it with me every morning. I take a preventative shot of the pickle juice. Helps me prevent cramps. It works. I don't throw these in my daily bags. I keep them separate. That way, if I need a second one in the middle of the day or whatever, I've got it. This one here, the brand name looks like pickle juice, and I like it. Make sure you test drive them ahead of time so you don't get a bad pickle juice, and it'll work for you. I didn't know how this would work. 5-hour energy. So they talk about, take 5-hour energy. Well, I'm older. what's this going to do to me? It's going to make me jittery, going to make my hair crawl. I don't have any hair now as it is. So make sure you test drive this. I used it on this trip. I used a few bottles. It says take a half, and it worked excellent. All it really did, it took the tired away. I wasn't jittery. I wasn't bouncing off the four walls of my little kayak. It worked for me. So even if you're going on a long drive, family vacation, whatever, all this does to me, it may do something different to you, was it took the tired away. So that works. We kept all of our food, and we called this our day bag. This is a 5-liter bag. It is the standard roll top. We took some huge waves over our boat. We were completely swamped with water over the top of us. These, I don't know how, we had them cinched down enough. They didn't get wet, but luckily everything was still redundantly waterproofed. I know Watershed makes some smaller bags that are submersion rated. Find a bag that you like, that you can leave on your deck, or you can have a deck bag, but find some way to keep your continuous collection of food dry. So there's that. Water, you got to figure out what you're going to do with water. There's so many different water storage ways. You can do a whole video on that. But we like to bring some Nalgene bottles, or we've got some other Hydro Flash squishy bottles that we put little flavored drinks in. So you've got energy drinks, you've got Tailwind is a fueling source. It's like a salty sugar water or sugar salty water, but it's got nutrition in there as well. So Sustain, we've got those. I also like the Crush, Orange Crush, Grape Crush, and it gives you a little flavor. As water over days is boring. You need something with a little extra flavor out there. Make sure you pick a dedicated water bottle. That's it. That's its sole purpose in life, is these little flavor packets. Because if you take, and I now want to use this water bottle, you're really not going to get it 100% clean, and all of a sudden my Bandito Scramble starts tasting like grape knee-high here. So make sure you use a different water source for that, and you label it so that you know this one is just for my little flavor packets. Everything else, your water bags, are strictly for drinking, for eating. That's it. Otherwise, go ahead and do it if you want, but I don't like that cross-contamination of flavors. The other thing to talk about is, well, I've got to cook this as well. There's so many different flavors of stoves. You've got alcohol stoves, you've got multi-fuel stoves. Mostly what you're going to see in the people that are going out and doing the hiking, biking, kayaking adventures, some kind of canister stove like this. This is a Tokes pot with a MSR Pocket Rocket 2 stove on there. This weighs 50% of this. So if I'm hiking, I'm concerned about weight, I'm taking this one. However, I've got a little bigger boat. I don't have that same concern. I don't get the same functionality out of this as I do out of the Jetboil. So the Jetboil, if you want, I've got my coffee press. I can be on a kayak. I've been on my Tandem Island, which is a plastic boat. I've been in my P&H Cetus, which is a fiberglass boat. You can hold this in your hand, provided it's calm water. You can cook in your boat like this. I wouldn't do that with that other stove. I'd probably make sure that you really had some good safety procedures if you were going to cook into your boat, that you're the captain of your ship. You're going to figure out if that's safe for you. But what's nice about these is I can lift the pot. I want to make coffee. I can pour my hot water into here. I can continue on, making food in here. I never cook directly into the pot. If I need to cook something, I'll put it in a bag and then I'll put it in the water and cook in the pot. But I don't want to kind of defile the inside, get that cross-contamination of, now I've got border scramble in there, and then I'm going to make some coffee later on. If you're going to do it, make sure you do it in the right order. Otherwise, it's going to kind of taste bad. The other thing that you can take with you is Chef Boyardee in a can. This isn't Chef Boyardee. It's vegetable, bean, and blend. We're going to pretend that it's Chef Boyardee. And notice it's in a bag. The bag really just serves a handle. If I have this size, it's very difficult. I don't have as much water. So I didn't take that one with me. I took this particular one. It's a little taller. I can really get that can down in there. I'm boiling. When I think it's hot enough, I can just lift it up and take it out. You can, and we've done this with our scouts, you can put stuff inside here. You can put your Chef Boyardee in here, or whatever, SpaghettiOs. You can put it in here directly, and then you can put it in there, and then you can just eat it out of there. That's fine as well. You do want to make sure whatever you're using, notice my spoon doesn't go all the way to the bottom. So make sure that your spoon, fork, spork, knife, whatever you're using, make sure that goes all the way to the bottom, or now you've got food all over your hands, and no one likes that. So make sure that you pick the right pot for what you're doing. I do bring lighters, but I really like the sparkers. These can be completely wet with salt water. They're still going to work. That lighter is done if you get it wet. So I love the sparkers. You can bring your own little pots with these. They've got attachments that you can put on there. And now, I'm cooking with this particular pot. You can do that if you want. When I'm done eating, I will throw all of this back. Once I've cleaned it up, I always bring a little brush. It just brushes all the sand off it. Salt water and sand get to everywhere. So I brush it off once that's dry, and I throw it into Ziplocs. I've got two different types. This is a Ziploc. This is a great value. But they're two different connection types. That keeps them sealed. So once I've got my food cooked, I like to throw it in I don't know if it's called a reactor bag, but it's got the foil lining. You put it in there, you let the food warm up, and then I'm free to go about setting up my camp, attending to my boat, going to the bathroom, doing whatever it is I need to do. By the time I'm done with that and I come back, food's ready to eat. All of that heat stays inside the bag. So that's it. That's the food we used, how we cooked with it, how we kept it waterproof. I'd like to do some future videos about waterproofing, the types of bags we used, how we were able to keep everything wet. We didn't lose anything to water. I'd like to do a video on what's in my repair kit. I've got a Hobie Tandem Island. I didn't have to use anything in my repair kit because we prepped our boat ahead of time. And the things I did use out of the repair kit were for somebody else's boat. So all this gear, all the food, everything, sure, it's available on Amazon, it's available on eBay, it's available wherever. Please go and support your local adventure store. They're there every day for when you need them. So go show them the love, spend your money with them. You never know, they may sponsor you someday. So thank you if you've stuck around for this video.